Are pop-up shops dead? So I know you guys have been frustrated with the online platforms, Depop, Macari, Etsy, all of them, and a lot of you guys have resorted to pop-up shops. And even if you have not resorted to pop-up shops, I'm sure you want to know, is pop-up shops worth it? How am I going to even be successful at pop-up shops? How to be efficient at pop-up shops? And the big question, how much money can I make at pop-up shops? So I'm here to tell you all of the tea, tell you all of the secrets, and I even had to grab me by my own hair and basically had to switch up my formulas because every single year the market is different in pop-up shops. And I even took a little break, y'all, but I've been back into it and I realized some secrets that I want to share, and of course the fundamentals of pop-up shops. So let's get into the video, y'all. And 1, 2, 3, 4, let's gain this knowledge. Okay, so pop-up shops are not old. People have been doing pop-up shops for years. I just feel like it's been an explosion of small businesses and especially resale businesses. And what better way to sell your items than to sell them at pop-up shops? A lot of people start online, especially with third-party apps like Depop, but selling online could be very, very, I would say, time consuming. And sometimes even the online market is very oversaturated right now. And if you're not good at taking pictures, if you're not good at being consistent online, it could be hard for you to make sales. So pop-up shops, on the other hand, it is not as time consuming. It's still time consuming, but instead of posting every single, one of your items, you pack up your items, you pick a pop-up shop to sell at, and you're able to sell multiple items in one day. You probably will be able to sell a week worth of items in one day at a pop-up shop. So that's why a lot of people feel like pop-up shops are very attractive. That is what attracted me to pop-up shops. My first pop-up shop, and I actually have a video here on YouTube. This is years ago, y'all, on my first pop-up shop. And I made, I think, like around $500. And I was like, what? Because at the time, in a whole week, I was making like 500 on Depop, and I did a pop-up shop for a few hours and I had a good time. So yes, pop-up shops are very, very attractive to new small businesses and people that are selling stuff. If you never did a pop-up shop before, first thing you need to do is, of course, you need to plan out where are you going to have your pop-up shop. All right. Now, I feel like a couple years ago, there was not a lot of pop-up shops, but there was an advantage to that because since it wasn't a lot of pop-up shops, the pop-up shops that you did choose, you were like, it was not a lot of small businesses at that pop-up shop. So therefore, the customer base had less to choose from and creating more customers buying from you. So it was really, really good, but a little bit hard to find. Now these days, everybody's doing pop-up shops. But the downside to that is it's gotten a lot oversaturated and the customer is been feeling very overwhelming. Here in Chicago, it's a pop-up shop every single weekend, at least 2 or 3 pop-up shops every single weekend. And it's not special anymore, especially, selling vintage. It's not special anymore because I just went to a pop-up shop last week and I seen this really cute vintage dress, but I know that I'm going to go to a pop-up shop next week. So let me hold off on getting that dress because I know I can probably find something else next week, and it's losing its uniqueness, even though that is vintage. Okay. It is losing its uniqueness and it's losing its exclusivity. Okay. I've been having to slow down my speech, y'all, because sometimes I start talking fast and get the stuttering. So let's take a breathe break. Okay. So back to what I was saying. You got to plan out your pop-up shop. What has been working for me is going on Instagram and just scrolling and see who is having a pop-up shop. If you're new to the game, this might be a little bit harder because you might not follow a lot of accounts that host pop-up shops, but I would suggest still getting on Instagram, asking around the people that you do know, and of course doing a quick Google search. I've been in vintage for a while now, so a lot of times I get asked to do pop-up shops, and that will happen when you're consistent in the game. But I don't just say yes to everybody pop-up shops. For me, lately I've been realizing that I like the smaller pop-up shops. I don't really like the big pop-up shops because, like I said, it's a little oversaturated, right? The customer is very overwhelmed. So I like the smaller pop-up shops. I like a very curated pop-up shop. You want to make sure that the pop-up shop that you're vending at, other vendors at that pop-up shop, at that market, are aligned to what you sell. For example, you're going to sell something at a price point of $50, but at your pop-up shop, the other sellers there are selling at a price point of $5. Nobody's going to buy your stuff because everybody else is selling at $5 and they're expecting you to sell at $5. And even if your price is right and your stuff is very valuable, they didn't come there for that. The expectation, the aesthetic, the communication of what that pop-up shop, what the vibe was to get things that were $5. So you need to really understand your market. You need to understand the stuff that you sell. You need to understand your business and have a little bit more value into what you sell, and don't just say yes to every single pop-up shop, because you will feel like at the end wasting your time. All right, so find pop-up shops on like social media, ask around, choosing that specific pop-up shop. Make sure your clothes, whatever you sell is aligned to that pop-up shop market. Make sure their target market is going to fit your target market and price points as well. Okay, last thing you need to do is make sure that pop-up market is going to attract customers. Do your background research. Ask people, hey, have you ever vended here? Look into the location. I love selling at pop-up shops where the street is very, very busy. So even if that owner of that pop-up shop didn't really market effectively, I know I'm going to get that walkability from my customer and just walking around. So if you live in a big city, those pop-up shops that are going to be on main streets are amazing. Those are the ones to go to, especially if you're just starting off, because y'all, let me tell you something. These people making the pop-up shop markets, at some point, I feel like now it's becoming a money grab. It's literally becoming a money grab. They're just like, you know what, let me just throw this market together. Let me get about a couple of vendors. Let me make a couple of thousand really quick, but I'm not going to do no marketing, and they can't get mad at me because they already paid their vendor fee and I said no refunds. So it is up to you. It is up to you to do your research and choose your market wisely. I've been very highly upset at different markets where I didn't do good, but that's because there was nobody there. But I couldn't get mad at them because I chose to pay my vendor fee and I chose to be at that market. And now these days, I'm very selective at the markets that I do shop at, and it creates some exclusivity to me as well. Like, what market she gonna be at? Because she don't choose everybody, right? So kudos to me. We would now like to interrupt this video with a special broadcast from Vintage Sellers.
Vintage. I love to get to meet people. I think it's really special to get to talk to so many different kinds of people, see people they're interested in, and see what you can bring for them. You know, clothes are not always accessible to everyone, so it's nice to just be able to hand them things that they need.
What is the most that you ever made at a pop-up? Okay.
The second tip is to make sure you go on special days or discount days. Like here in Chicago, Tuesdays is to buy half off and get the other for free. So that's the second tip. Now, the third tip is to shop outside of where you're from. So go to different states because you just never know. To me, New York might seem oversaturated, but that's one of the places that have one of the best.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. So now you got your pop-up shop, right? Now you paid your vendor fee. Now vendor fee. If you're just starting off, I would definitely suggest that you pay no more than $150. Really $100. But inflation, baby, I get it. $150. Do not pay over $150. Please do not. I know people that pay the vendor fee of $250 and only made $50. No, that's not. It's not worth it. And I just feel like if you are a pop-up shop market, there's no reason for you to be charging that much, okay? Because even the very popular markets, unless it's like you've vended there before and you're like, okay, vended there a couple times and you've made, wealth while the vendor fee, I just feel like charging over 150 is crazy, and there's no need to charge over 150. Like there's no need, because at the end of the day, you don't know how you don't know the outcome of the market. That's the end of the day. You don't know the outcome of the market at all. So just investing in a pop-up shop more than $150 is crazy to me. Don't do it, okay? Make 150 your max, right? So you find your pop-up shop, you paid your vendor fee. Now it's time for planning. This is the part that, like, y'all, I had to really like get myself together, because I used to not be a planner. I'm a planner now, but I used to not be a planner, and I used to be like coming in late in a pop-up shop, and sometimes I do still come in a little late, but I got a system down, and it take me forever to set up, and I would be missing things, and when it would just be a mess. So you need to create you a list, okay? Create you a list and check it twice of things that you need at your pop-up shop. All right, everybody's going to be selling different items. For me, I have to have my racks, of course, because I sell clothes, a table to put my jewelry in, my signs, my mirror. If you do sell vintage, I do have a downloadable PDF that's going to basically show you guys everything that I bring at my pop-up shop. But like I said, every single pop-up shop is different. Every single, body selling different stuff. But you always want to make sure that you have your list. Check it twice. Okay. If you're new to pop-ups, I would definitely go visit a pop-up shop, go visit a market that, sells the stuff that you sell, and kind of like do a little peeping, what they got, okay? Be nice and maybe, buy something from their shop, since you like peeping a little bit and taking notes. But definitely, look around, okay? And make your list, and you want to check it twice. Please don't be like me. Please don't be like me. Coming up there looking like you. Okay, y'all. So we are all set up. We got our things. We're selling. We're making money. Okay. One of my biggest advice, and it works for me, have one system of how you accept payment. Okay. I know some of you guys may be like, what? No. But the reason why I say this is because it's just a lot easier to keep organized. And basically, I feel like each method of payment takes some type of fee. So I feel like the easiest thing for me to do was use Square, because they take, I believe, Cash App, they take card, in Apple Pay. All right. I really haven't had an issue with a customer basically saying that, they didn't have their card, or, Apple Pay. Now, if they didn't have that card and I still wanted that sale, okay, you can Zelle me cash, but I really like to keep everything in one place. It's easier for me to keep track. And that's what I was going to say next. keep track of your inventory, because people do be stealing. And not only the fact that people be stealing, but it's good to know what you're selling, and it's good to know how many items you sold from that pop-up shop and what you sold. So the next pop-up shop, to bring more of the hot item that you were selling at the last pop-up shop. And you really only know that from having a one or very organized system where you can track what you're selling. Okay, Cash Out, Venmo, all of that, that's good, but it's too hard to keep track, and you got to edit it in. Versus if you have something like Square, all I like to do is, okay, I put how many shirts do I have, and this is for vintage. Okay, vintage is a little bit more difficult because every single item is one of one. But I just say, okay, shirts $20, shirts $30, shirts $40. So if somebody buys a shirt that's $20, I go and I hit okay, shirt that's $20, and I know that they bought that. Okay, and I might put a little note on it if it's like a button down or whatever, but that's why I keep track. So like I said, if I know my coats are selling a lot, then the next pop-up shop, I'm going to bring my coats or whatever. And like I said, as I'm selling, I'm just making a note of what my customer is liking, what my customer did not like. All customers like to feel like they're shopping at a store. So merchandise is very important. Merchandising is very important. Make sure you're keeping your space nice and clean. I love to switch out on the front of my racks, like popular cute items and merchandise. It's just not a pop-up shop, baby. You are a store. You are about to be worldwide. You are that girl, that boy. You are them, him, whatever, however you identify. You it. And your pop-up shop, it needs to match that as well. And obviously, you obviously want to be nice. You obviously want to be friendly. Because let me tell you something. Let me get into it. Tips been going crazy. And y'all might be feeling like, why you gotta tip me? Because my work is, I put a lot in my work, and they want to tip me, and they feel like I was good at selling them my clothes. So you want to make sure you're nice because you can get these tips. Okay. Last thing that you need to do as you're selling is keep a positive mindset. Even if you're not selling a lot of items, please keep a positive mindset, y'all, because I know how hard it is. I really do. There has been times where pop-up shop is almost over. I only made $200, and it's really easy to get discouraged. But like I said, customers can see that all on your face. And I want to share a story with you all. One day I was selling at a pop-up shop, excuse me, and the whole day I made like $100, right? And it was the last hour, and I'm just like, oh my God. But I knew that God was going to work it out, and I knew I still had an hour left. This lady came in the store, and I didn't think nothing of it. Hey, how you doing? Give her my spiel. She stopped shopping, grabbing stuff, grabbing. Can I try this on? Can I try this on? Yes, you can try this on. I'm not gonna lie. The way she was grabbing the stuff, I'm like, is she okay? I'm like, because she was kind of walking a little funny too. But I'm like, whatever. So she just grabbing the stuff, grabbing it. Can I try it on? Can I try it on? Of course. She's trying it on. I'm propping her up because the clothes did look good on her. It did. That looked good. That looked good. The lady ended up buying, I forgot how many items, but that sale was like $1,000. And that just proves like you always got to keep a positive mindset. And even if you do a pop-up shop and you end up not making what you're supposed to do, it's always the next pop-up shop. And like I said, when it comes to selling, when it comes to pop-up shops, sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't, and that's just the reality. But the main thing is to stay positive and learn from it and take something from that pop-up shop. And the next time you can, next time do better. That's all you can do. Okay. So keep that positive mind. All right, so you've made your money at pop-up shop. You've had a really good time. So now it's time to pack up, all right? Now, I used to be that girl that when it was time to go, oh, I'm tired. I'm ready to go home, take a bubble bath. Let me throw everything in my car. No, be as organized as you were in the beginning. Keep everything. My philosophy is keep everything so well that for your next pop up shop, you could just pick up from where you left off and maybe tweak it a little bit, ask for new items. But why are you messing your stuff up? Why are you messing up the good hard work that you did put it in? Put it up exactly how you put it out in the beginning of the pop-up shop. Okay, so that's why sometimes when I have a pop-up shop, I don't even really have to do too much preparing, and I could just show up to the pop-up shop and make money. This last pop-up shop that I did an hour worth of preparing, and that's just because the only reason why I prepare is because I needed to go into my storage unit and grab out some new items for the wintertime. But other than that, sometimes I don't even be preparing. I just be like, the stuff is already in bags in my storage unit. Let me just get it out, pop it in there. And that's been so easy. And if you're like me, I'm not lazy, but I do want to think smarter. And don't nobody want to be working that much. Like, don't nobody want to be breaking a back. And pop-up shops really, if you don't do it right, pop-up shops really could be very intense. So get your system down pack. Make sure it's easy. I just got used to just doing these big blue bags on Amazon, and honestly, I categorize my stuff like, okay, my tops go in that bag, my bottoms go in that bag, table set up, and it's just been very easy for me. I even be leaving the hangers on there, baby, because it's easy. And I've really been loving that system. It's been finally working for me. So now I feel like my pop-up shops are way more passive than what they used to be. And like I said, most of the time with organizing, all I have to do is just add my new items. Okay, so don't get lazy at the end. Don't get lazy at the end. All right, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe, because don't you want to see my journey of becoming my best self? All right, I gotta tell y'all a secret. I just lost my job, and I'm going back, and I'm like, I gotta go hard back on my vintage because I need some money. And I've been really enjoying YouTube like as a hobby, and one day I hope to be bigger than what I am. And I'm just showing my journey, becoming an overall better person, making more money, becoming more self-efficient with myself, taking control of my mental state, taking control of my happiness, growing in my spiritualness. And I'm really excited for this journey. And I woke up today not really feeling the best, but I'm like, you know what? I choose to feel good. Let me put on this gospel house music and let me understand that I need to just walk in faith and follow my routine. So I really, really want you guys to follow my journey. So go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.